Hello and welcome to another episode of Through the Banner, brought to you by the West Australian. I'm your host for the day, Josh Garlepp, sitting in for Mark Reddings, and alongside me is footy scribe Craig O'Donoghue. We'll get to the team announcements for this weekend's semi-finals, but first, the big news this week. Perth has secured the grand final. There's been a lot of talk in the lead-up, Craig. You're an excitable guy in general.
Yes, I am.
Why should WA fans be excited?
It's just the greatest opportunity that many footy fans will have in their lives to go to an AFL grand final without having to pay the thousands of dollars that it costs to fly to Melbourne, get accommodation, pay for tickets. It's a wonderful opportunity. There's going to be the grand final parade as well for those who can't go. The Brownlow Medal will be in Perth. So Gil McLachlan's already here. 3 teams are already here. So it's just a matter of now who makes the grand final and who you're going to barrack for throughout the entire final series if you're a neutral. Clearly, you're in orange. You've got orange hair. You're clearly barracking for the GWS Giants, which is pretty obvious. But everyone else has a team they can pick without having to worry about their hair colour. So it's going to be exciting for everyone.
Well, I prefer Auburn, so thank you very much for that one, Craig. Staying with the GWS Giants, Toby Greene, big news this week, almost overshadowed the grand final announcement. Everyone had an opinion on whether or not it was a push. What did you think, and what does that mean potentially moving forward?
Well, it definitely was a push. It was definitely a reportable incident, and he got the 3 weeks from the tribunal, but the AFL have appealed that. They want more. They asked for 6 weeks on the day, and they weren't happy that the tribunal narrowed it down to 3. So that appeal will be heard after the season. Green definitely won't play for the rest of the year because there's only 3 games to go as a maximum for GWS if they keep winning through. I reckon what we'll find is come the end of the season that the tribunal will say, you know what, it's not a good look having an umpire being pushed and only getting 3 weeks, and I think it will be extended out closer to 6.
Their opponents this weekend, the Geelong Cats, they have a milestone man, Joel Selwood. He'll break the Geelong Cats games record. Not bad for Joel Selwood. Yeah,
it's an amazing effort to break Corey Enright's record. He wasn't expected to play any more than 100 games when he was drafted. He was considered the number 1 draft pick from his year, but his knee injury from that season was so bad that doctors said you'll play 5 years and then you'll be done. And he's played for 15 years, played 333 games, and will now break the record of this club. He's an amazing player. Captain, obviously, 6-time All-Australian, 3-time All-Australian captain, 3-time premiership player. He's been an ornament to the game, and he will break that record when he runs out against the Giants.
Well, it's been a massive week in footy news, and today, added to that, Ross Lyon, who was probably widely touted as the potential replacement for David Teague at Carlton as coach there, he's withdrawn from the race altogether. Tell us about that, please, Craig.
Yeah, well, we know that Luke Sayers, the Carlton president, had been speaking with Ross Lyon, and it was considered a fait accompli that he was just going to become the coach. But then they announced a 6-person selection committee and said it was going to take up to 45 days to decide their coach. And Ross has clearly looked at that and gone, this wasn't what I thought was going to happen. I thought I had the job, and doesn't seem all that interested in going through the process. Has clear concerns over the fact that the club isn't as stable as what he once thought it might have been. So he's out. Is Alistair Clarkson potentially going to come back in? He's already said he's not going to coach, but maybe they think they can get him. Or will it be Brad Scott? Will it be Nathan Buckley? Could it be Michael Voss? Or will they go down the path of what Collingwood have done and get a first-time coach? Craig McRae appointed yesterday. Maybe Adam Kingsley comes into the mix. So there's a lot of names now. And who will coach Carlton? We don't know. And it could often be someone who comes from the clouds.
That's right. So let's take a look at the players that will run through the banner for this weekend with the latest team lists for both semi-finals, starting with GWS taking on the Geelong Cats on Friday night at Optus Stadium.
Yeah, we've got 3 changes for the Cats with Zach Tui, Asava Ratagalia and Max Holmes all coming into the team. There's some pretty significant outs with Luke Dalehouse going out, very experienced campaigner, Sean Higgins being managed, Mark O'Connor is injured, and Sam Simpson is also out. And we look at the Giants, an amazing story here. Bobby Hill is coming into the team. Bobby Hill went home to Sydney to be with his pregnant partner about 6 weeks ago, had to come back through a transition hub in Queensland, then go back to Melbourne, in Tasmania with the team, finally in Perth, and now he's going to play in a finals. That's a great effort by Bobby Hill. They've lost, obviously, Toby Greene, and they've lost Tom Green also, which is a big out for them, and Sam Reid is also missing.
Unfortunate for the GWS Giants, missing the 2 Greens, but Bobby Hill, WA product, coming in front of his home crowd. That's a story in itself. Taking a look at the other semi-final for the weekend, who's in and out for that team?
Yeah, Brisbane Lions hosting the Western Bulldogs. When we look at the Lions, big out is Dan McStay, who got concussed last week with a horrible knee to the face. So he was no chance of ever playing this weekend. Jackson Pryor, a West Australian, is also out. and Reece Matheson as the sub. Tends to come back in as the sub, even though he's listed as an official out. And in comes Devon Robertson, another West Australian there, who'll be enjoying his opportunity to play in that final. And Jack Payne also comes in. In terms of the Bulldogs, no real changes, no ins, and the only out being Jason Johannesson, who is the sub from last week, so likely to still be part of that 23.
So 2 awesome semi-finals to look forward to for footy fans. Remember to like, subscribe, and we'll tune in next week for more Through the Banner. Thank you very much, Craig.
Thank you very much, Josh.
That's all from us.